Hi. I will just shortly try to explain the root editing process and some of the things that we have to be aware of in terms of supporting the user. Some of the things that I know from existing system can be a bit annoying, and what we have to understand is that uh, sitting and drawing the root network is something they do quite a bit. So every time they have to roll out some area or connect some customers, they will sit and draw this root network. So it's important that we kind of make it so as easy as possible for them to do that. Uh, so um, let's imagine that this area here, that a planner, she needs to create this area. Actually, normally the area will be bigger. Actually, they will normally have divide the whole city out in different areas, and then there will be some kind of plan to kind of roll out these areas in phases, you could say. Uh, and But for this simple demonstration, let's just imagine this is only this small area here that has to be rolled out. So typically what they will do then is they create a project. So they actually create some polygons who describe the different areas. Each polygon represent a project, a rollout project. I have not created these polygons here, but they don't matter for the functionality. It's just something, a way they use standard DS functionality or standard things to kind of divide things up. It's a functionality should be easy to create later on. So we should not focus on that. Okay. Anyway, let's say you want to provide these houses here with their fiber optic network. Um, and Typical in such an area that will have created a campaign beforehand, and some of the customer will have told the telco that they want this stuff now when they roll out the network, and some has said that okay, they have not responded, so they don't want it yet. However, when she will put the pipe system in and they will dig up all the roads here and put the pipes into the road, she will make sure that there is a pipe capacity, conduit capacity for each house. Okay, so now I'm not a planner, so I'm probably very bad at this, but I'm thinking maybe okay, I will create maybe a route down here, and I will create one down here and around here, something like that, so it can reach all the houses, right? So she will go up here and attach the route to the existing route up here. So here it's important that you know that you can press some button. Actually, when you start on a project, you will always first choose the project in the system. So there should be kind of a list of projects you can choose from. Or if it's a new project, you can create a new project and it has a project number. So because we want to register all the stuff she do, we want to attach that to a project number. So that's actually the first thing she will do, is to maybe create the project if it's not already there. It's just a list, of projects. And then she will start drawing the trends or the routes. And this is example of that you want to create a route from here and down this road, right? And the idea is that when you go near the edge of an existing route, it should snap like so you can easily see. Okay, I will start here. So, and then of course you can click and create the route. Let's say we go down here or something. Finish it. Just say okay to this. And now she has created a new route. As you can see here, I have set up this system. This is just standard QGIS setup. So it's not intelligent, but it has a snap functionality. So I said it should snap to the routes here. And now I have drawn this line. What the system must do is it has to create a node here and a node here automatically. And in this trends here, this route here, it has to divide up. So there will be one node here. I can try do it if I can figure out. I can place a node here. That's the easy part. Is snap on? Yeah. Well, we don't want to. Now it probably. Yeah, that's fine. Cannot. Is it snap? It's actually difficult to see if snaps there. But still, this one is not divided up, right? So I have to cut this one over. And I go up here and I have to pick the cut tool. Is this one? I think it's this one. And then I have to go like, oh, now I probably did it wrong. Now it has cut it there, right? And now I have to kind of snap everything together and move things around to make sure these are aligned and connected together. So I guess QGIS can do that in a better way. But I'm just telling you that, of course, they should not spend time on that. The system should just automatically cut this route, put the node in, and so on, and then they can continue, right? Because what she want after doing that is they probably want to put where the customer should be connected. So maybe this guy he has to go in here. Oh, why there's nothing happening? Maybe because I picked the wrong tool. Here like there, something like that. And this one, and so forth, right? And maybe she will go down here, this road too, right? Maybe like this. This is very ugly, very quick here. That. And, connect this guy. And so forth. Of course, you will probably start by to kind of do the routes that cover the you can say the access net, all the in the road, and then later she will connect the customer. So now I just did it like in one go. But the thing is that she will do that, but in that process she will also decide where the cabinet should be. So maybe actually the cabinet, let's say where should we put that cabinet? Or you can imagine maybe the cabinet, let's say it should be placed down here. And this is of course a process that she has to figure out where can I place that cabinet and where I'm allowed to place that cabinet. Maybe the city don't allow cabinets, you have to put a well instead. But there should be some place where you have a cabinet with the fiber equipment. Um, so she will choose some nodes and kind of put and say here should be a cabinet. But this is a later process, so she will click, let's just say this node, click that and add some equipment to that node. So she will add a cabinet with a kind of equipment container, and inside that she will add some fiber equipment. Here, in this point of the net, and you can see here this is wrong already because I did something wrong. So this is an example of the editing functionality here is not really good for me to use. There should have been a point there. Anyway, can I somehow move that? I cannot stand to see it. I can. Something went wrong here. I think the node should have been here, but it seems not to snap or something. See, this is why we need a dedicated user interface to support this, because if you have to sit and struggle with this, okay, and this network is not valid, right? So it's really not good. So now I have to delete it. But I try to fix it a little. Oh, it's not wrong. So now I do like this, and I have to delete that one. Okay, now just imagine that this was created right. So you have an existing line here. I have created a new segment down here. And inside this existing line goes to multi-conduits. So in this point here, there will be a junction. So some technician or some field crew has to go out in real life when this new area has to be constructed, dig down to these two pipes here, and do a lot of stuff, do a junction here, okay? So what she will do after she has created a root network is she will click this thing here, and then we'll get a picture of what's going through that point. That's going to conduits, and then she will also place a new conduit down here, down this road that has enough inner conduits to serve all the customers. And then here, she will, click and make a conduit junction and tell how these pipes should be connected to each other. But I'll show all this in another video. I just try to explain why you need these. Why this has to be split and why there has to be a root node here is because you will later click on that and do stuff in that node. And for example, regarding the cabinet, she might place them. Let's say there should be a cabinet here. She might do something like this. Like this, and then place it. Of course, the system will place a node there, right? And then this will actually be a conduit junction here, and maybe a well, or no, it will be a junction actually. And then she will place the cabinet here, and after that she will blow some cables in through some existing pipes from here down to this guy after she has connected all the pipes. And from this guy here, this customer cabinet, she will blow cables to all the customer who has already ordered. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. This is really a messy presentation because I mix things up. But you have to. But I just want to try to explain that she starts by creating the routes, figuring out where the routes should be, and then later she will put conduits into the routes, and in all the junction points, she will tell how things are connected. She will start with the conduits, and then later on, she will begin to, on the fiber level, to tell which conduits should contain which fibers and how should they be connected in the cabinets and so forth, all the way down to the customer. And this whole process can be automated in many ways when we begin to create the tools. So it's very easy for her to do this. But if in complex cases, she has to do it manually. But yeah, the foundation is that she create this root network first, and here it's very important that it's very easy to do, and the system kind of makes sure that there's a node everywhere and split everything up, so she don't have to spend a lot of time fiddling with that. And also I talked about the functionality to kind of draw and follow an existing geometry in the net. For example, if I remove this aerial photo here, you can see we have what we call the base map, technical base map. This is a vector map, and here there will be road edges. So maybe let's say here, you can see there's a road edge here. Maybe she want to kind of create the route 1 meter from that or something, and 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 then it would. She has to be able to tell that she wants to draw along this line with an offset of 1 meter, and then she can drive, draw it down here, and the system will help to make it look like this guy here. And the reason it's quite important that it's a bit important that it's kind of accurate is that the length has something to say, because when the people who has to in real life begin to blow the cables around these pipes, they need to know a bit about what is the length they have to blow. So they have the blowing machine, and it tells how long this cable is going, and it's nice for them to have an idea about that, of course. And if you have created the network very not real life-ish, it might be the incorrect lengths, but I'm not sure how much it matters. But of course, it's I know it's something that the functionality it's nice to have, that they can kind of follow the E16 road. You can imagine here, for example, I have sit and draw this trends here. You can see how bad it's drawn because I just click around here. If I could follow this road here, it would be much more nice. I will say that later, when the network has been constructed, someone will go out and actually measure it. A survey crew They have the survey equipment like GPS and equipment, and they go out and actually measure where the pipes are in real life. And we get that information back, and then we update the system so this thing here actually reflect the real life position. That is done in a later process. So you can say the planner starts to create the route, and it serves as a project plan for the crew in the field to do the project. And then later, after they have done the project or while they're doing the project, someone go out and measure everything up with the DBS system, the survey crew is called, and or one guy, survey guy, or a woman, and they measure everything up, and yeah, and we get that back in some you know XML, um, typical land XML file or something, and we can load that in and document this. So there are some people in the office that actually document this after it has been constructed. So everything is exactly where it is in real life. Okay, I hope I hope this makes a little sense. I just want to kind of put some what do you call it? I mean, try to tell you what's really important here is that you know that we can snap to existing edges. We can easily draw the route, and everything is kind of the system makes sure everything is kind of connected correctly to each other. Has to be easy and reliable to do that. Actually, I have been in a company where we created a system. It was for a server system actually, where they have to draw all the server lines and stuff like that. And the system was something that they have to draw in a certain order or something like that, and they were so annoyed by it. And actually, I mean, there was many things that was really difficult to do, uh, and the user really hated that system, and it doesn't exist today. And I think maybe one of the reasons was that this basic functionality to draw this stuff was really, I mean, we hadn't listened on the users. Actually, we listened, but then the stuff was created and no one wants to change it. The company said, okay, we should not change that. The user is just stupid. And this is just the fault we should not make here. We should really make this easy to do. So, okay, bye bye.